Hello, good morning. My name is Mark Zirka. I am the founder and the CEO of Strategy Up. I want to welcome you to our weekly series of tips. I don't know if you followed us last week where we discussed about the strategy and how important is the strategy for any type of business. Today, we're going to continue on our topic and we're going to discuss about the action plans, what it means to have an action plan which has derived from our strategic planning session, why action plans are important, and how are we going to prioritize them. First of all, it is extremely important to make sure that during the strategic workshop or the strategy session, we have identified the strategic pillars. Usually, an organization or a company has to have strategic pillars on which it's basing itself, on which it's going to set a strategic direction for the future. Now, every strategic pillar should result into clear and concrete actions. Some actions, or what we call them projects, might be short-term, which means that could be executed in the near future and where we can see the result in a quick manner or relatively quick manner. However, other action plans might be more for the mid-term to the long term, where these are projects that require more resources. When we talk about resources, it's not only about the dollar figure or money, but it could be more human factor or human resources. It could be more like research. It could be an investment. It could be coming from any source of input into the business. And of course, the long-term projects are the projects which are going to take more than 12 months or even more than a year to implement. And also the results of these projects would not be perceived or would not be tangible before a year or 2 or even 3 years. Also for the long-term projects, the results will only be perceived after a while. It could be within years of the investment or finalizing the project. So it's extremely important to really understand once we have identified our strategy, the strategic pillars, and hence the action plans that are based on every strategic pillar, we need to set the expectations. We need to set our own expectations, meaning our internally, the management team's expectations, what it means for us, what it means from commitment, what it means from an output or from a result perspective. Also, we need to set expectations to our investors or shareholders, and without even forgetting our clients and customers. It is extremely important to be transparent. You know, the more you are transparent with your ecosystem, with your stakeholders, whether they are internal or external, the more they would appreciate the work that you're doing. You know, the worst thing to have is that when you're doing lots of things internally, but they are not yet perceived to the outside world, or they are not yet tangible, people are going to question, like, what are you doing? Why these guys or these ladies or these investors or these entrepreneurs are really spending so much time, so much money, and we still didn't get anything, or we didn't yet see anything as an output. So it is extremely important to keep everybody up to date, to be very honest, and to inform the stakeholders about what you're doing. So I want to thank you again for following us this week and for listening to me. And I hope that I will see you next week, where we'll be talking about more interesting topics about strategy and strategy implementation. Thank you and have a great week ahead.